Hey there, and welcome back to another Fortnite 4-inch action figure review. And it has been a while. We haven't seen any new product since Fireworks Team Leader came out back in early February, I think it was. I don't know, it's been a while. It seems like it's been a long while. But we've got new product now, and the first one that we are looking at is Spider Knight. And he is a pretty neat looking figure. He's got some interesting. Anyway, we'll pull him out of the box real quick, and but anyway, real quick on the back, Spider Knight. They'll fall into your web. Should it be they'll fall into my web? I don't know. They'll fall into your web, and we see the cross sale of all the new figures that are going to be coming out, the new skins, and I'm really excited. I love this 4-inch line. So let's get this thing open. Let's take a look at this figure, and let's get going. And we're back, and he's out of this package, and it's really cool. We'll just get some stuff out of the way here real quick. He comes with a brick building material figure stand, and if the rumors are true, this set of figures may be the last time that we get these figure stands. So if you've got a bunch of these in the past, hang on to them. You may need them for future figures. He also has his harvesting tool. This is called the Web Breaker, and it's really neat. It almost looks like it has like little spider eyes on both sides of it. It's kind of a creepy axe. It's got some wrappings up and down the handle, and it looks just kind of as creepy as this guy does, which he looks kind of creepy. This Spider Mite, I've said that twice now. Spider Knight is a legendary skin in the game, and you can purchase it when it pops up in the item shop. So if you play the game and you're interested in this character or the skin, keep an eye on that item store, because it'll pop up at some point. I've seen it a few times. Spider Knight is part of the Arachnid set, so there's a few other pieces, specifically his back bling, that would be really cool to have come out at some point. Well, let's take a look at the figure since we've got it in front of us. This is cool. It's got a lot of interesting detail on it. His face has got, or his mask or his helmet or whatever, has a lot of interesting detail with these eye things. And he's got this kind of a short coat that he's wearing, and a wrap around his waist, a big red X on his back. He's mostly gray and silver. Got some really cool gauntlets with red tips on the corners there. There's a lot of neat things about this figure. It'd be really neat if this dagger came out, but I understand with how the game works why Jazwares does some of the things they do. Like, you can't pull this out in the game, so sure, let's mold it on. That makes sense. Although there's a back bling in the current season, Chapter 2, Season 2, that you can actually take the items off the back bling. So maybe in the future, if we get that character, then he'll have removable stuff from the back bling. Anyway, that's a whole nother thing. Whole nother little topic. Now, I was noticing he's got these little horns. I think they're kind of horns or antennae or feet or something, but they are soft plastic. You can see that I can pry them a little bit. His coat is also a very, very soft plastic. You can kind of see me flicking it around. And his waist wrap is also a soft plastic, as is the sword. Not the sword, but the dagger. So this, of all the pieces on this figure, this might be the most fragile here. It could snag and maybe come off if you're not careful. So you may want to kind of watch out for this thing right there. If you pull his arms back, you can take off this jacket. It does come off. We'll just kind of pull it off here. It's not pegged on or hooked on like some of the other coats or some of the other clothing accessories, I guess, if you want to call it. Well, it will come off if you can do it right. You got to be careful. These little, I don't know, call them spikes. These little outcroppings, these poking, may snag, and this is soft enough that if you pull and tug too hard, it might just rip if it snags on those. So I'm kind of taking it easy. Yeah, it snagged on one of those down there. But you can get it off. And if you get it off of one side, the other side might be a little bit easier. Maybe. Yeah, I think it was a little bit easier. So, yep, there you go. You can get... And once it's off, it flies. But, yep, you can get that coat off, and you could, if you know how to paint and customize, you could probably redo some stuff and put it on another character. And then that's what he looks like without his coat. He's rather bland. Except for this thing right here, which I'm sure they can use at some point for another figure. So even with this on, he didn't really have much of a hindrance. This is as far up as he can go. He's got these shoulder pads on that you'd think might stop, but they've got a big enough hole here that the shoulder pad just kind of goes right into that hole. That's kind of neat. See, you can see how big of a gap that is. So he's got a lot better movement than some of the previous figures. I'm going to go ahead and put this coat back on him. And then we'll look at his range of motion, his toy articulation with it on. It's a lot easier to put it on because you're going over the spike. It's like putting your head through a grate. Your ears go one way, but they don't seem to go the other way. So here we go. So with this back on, he can still raise his arms all the way up. It's a soft enough plastic. Now, there's a chance that after enough of it, I'm going to check my focus here real quick. There's a possibility that after enough movement around, this might tear. So, I don't know. Play with toys, you know. I don't know. If you display this as an adult collector of action figures, if you display it, it should be just fine. You can pose it just about any way you want to. His head will rotate all the way around. The collar is soft enough that it allows for full head rotation. He can look down, and he can even look up. So he's got some good torso wiggle here. He can lean forward about that far. Keep putting this up out of the screen. Sorry about that. He can lean back about that far. His waist does rotate, but it won't do that on his own. You might have to grab that waist, and after one or two rotations, it may start doing it all on its own. Again, watch out for that dagger. It's kind of in a bad spot there. He's got bendable elbows, and they are not 90 degrees because of his gauntlets here. There's a little spike on the edge that will prevent you from pulling his arms up all the way, so he can go about that far. His wrists will rotate quite easily, actually, and there is a hinge on them. They will hinge forward like that, but I'm not sure how far back they will go because there is a little bit of an edging on that gauntlet. It looks like they'll go back a little ways, but not as far as they could. Now, if you want him to do the side splits, that's about as far as you're going to get because of his waist wrap. It doesn't seem to be able to come off. It looks like it's attached or fixed somehow. He can do those splits about like that. So you're not going to get much split action from him. He does have the double knee joints, so he can bend his knees pretty good. His ankles will rotate all the way around. But he's got some armor down here that just might prevent full proper bending. I can get his feet to bend without a lot of force about that far. And I can get him to go up about that far. So not much off of normal. So he's got a little bit of range of motion issues here in his ankles and on his wrists, and a lot of articulation hindrance in the waist, not the waist, but the upper. Oh, and I forgot. Does he still have? Yep, it looks like they can rotate the thighs still. So their thighs do still rotate. The torso, the waist wrap does not hinder thigh rotation. So that's pretty good. For a lot of people that just display these things, you're going to be pretty happy if you like this figure, if you like this character, if you like the skin. You'll be pretty happy because it's a neat one. Now, I know that for the 6-inch collectors out there, you'll be quite ecstatic when and if they release a 6-inch version of Spider Knight. Every time I say Spider Knight, I kind of want to think of Michael Knight. For all those who get the Knight Rider reference. Spider Knight. Let's see, there we go. We can get him all posed up there. Kind of, sort of. He's a cool looking figure. I'm really excited that they brought this one out. Black Knight I think is cooler, but Spider Knight, it's pretty good too. Anyway, thank you for stopping by and thank you for watching. We've got more of these 4-inch figures coming out in the next couple days, so keep your eyes peeled. Thank you for stopping by and watching. If you like this, if this was helpful, hit that like button. And if you want to be notified of when more of these videos come out, hit that subscribe button and the bell notification icon. Have a wonderful day, and we will see you in the next video.